Well, it's always great. You know, I've been back. I was back here 4 years ago, and then probably 2 or 3 years before that, and it's always special to come back to, you know, some place that I think was really, you know, the stepping stone of my major league career. You know, being here in Omaha. But the thing that you know impressed me so much about the city and the fans is the way they received us. And of course, we did have pretty good teams, but yet the hospitality was great, and they were super fans. And I still have a lot of friends. Some of the guys here today, some of my friends have come out today.
Do you consider your legacy as building a baseball city that is now Omaha to kind of make it? I know it was a baseball city prior to, but it seems like it blossomed during your time.
Well, I think, you know, when they were out of baseball for a number of years, I don't know how many, 6 or 7 years, and we came back and we were fortunate enough to win back-to-back pennants here, I think it kind of energized the city a little bit, and energized, I know, the city council, where they started to make improvements to the stadium, and things started to steamroll there, and the enthusiasm, you know, was catching.
I want to ask you about Bob Gibson. You know, I don't think your careers overlapped because you were in the American League, it was National League, but what were your views of him as a player? And now, looking back on, there wasn't anybody like him now. You can't even compare him to anybody.
I tell you, I was glad I was managing in the American League when he was, you know, his years in the National League. I was looking up his record today. I saw it out at the ballpark, and I was trying to, if I ran across him, and I thank God we didn't have to play him because I was in the American League. But, you know, I seen him pitch a lot of times, and to me, he was the most dominating pitcher in the game. And I know people often ask me, they say, well, if you had one guy to pitch the 7th game of the World Series, who would you take? I'd say Bob Gibson, no question. They said, well, you know, Sandy. I said, give me Gibson. He was tough. He was an intimidator, and I love that. You don't see that today. You know, I could just see some of them guys today, you know, getting close, pitch close to him, and then looking out at him and saying something to him. Man, I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be at the plate because I know what he'd do. The next pitch would be closer than the other one. And but that's the way he was. He was, you know, Don Drysdale was like that. You know, both of those guys were intimidators.
You've been in the game a long time. What's the biggest thing you've seen change about baseball?
Well, there's a number of things that changed. First of all, I think you've seen the bigger and stronger players coming into the game. I think you're seeing more players coming into the game that are educated baseball-wise, and I think that's a direct result because of the influx of television. And you know, they're getting a better idea. They're getting better coaching in high school and colleges. That's one reason I see a change for the better. Second one is I see that the salaries have escalated so much today as it was years ago, and I think, in my own personal opinion, that I think that sometimes the desire to win the games is now changed a little bit for the desire to have a successful season to make some money. And you rarely. You can't say that about all the players, but there's a few guys that are a little selfish. And with the way that things are today, I don't blame them. But saying that, I can go back to say that, you know, we won the World Series in Florida in 2003, and all my years, 17 years managing the big leagues, I never had a group of players that were so unselfish and dedicated to winning. And when they came into the clubhouse, they left their egos at the door, and they played to win. And I had a bunch of bench players. People say to me, well, who was your most valuable player? I said, my extra guys. Because I'd have a team meeting and apologize to those guys that I wish I could play you. You know, I wish I could get some of you guys in the games. And I was to a guy. They'd come up after the game, after the meeting, and say, hey, Skip, don't worry about a thing. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're fine. Don't worry about us. And you don't find that today.
I know you were out at Werner Park today, but did it give you a little nostalgia for Rosenblatt? It's apples and oranges, I know, but it's a beautiful ballpark, but much different than the Black was, I'm sure.
Well, I think, you know, things the society, everything's changing today in society. You know, in all the new ballparks, you know, you hate to see Fenway or the Cubs Wrigley go down, but that's eventually going to go, just like Rosenblatt. I am particularly, you know, indebted to Rosenblatt because that's where I had most of my success and got to know the city of Omaha. But it's nice, I think, to see a nice, clean, refreshing new stadium, and this one is really special out there. And I think it's going to be something this area is going to be very proud of.
How proud are you of your nickname, Trader Jack?
Well, I'm very proud of that. In fact, I have my kids, my grandkids, son-in-laws. No one calls me by my name. They call me Trader. Trader. Oh yeah, it's Trader. Trader it is. Everybody in baseball is Trader. You don't call me Jack. Trader. And even my kids went and bought me. I have personal license plates.
Oh, do you?
On one of my cars. Yeah. I got Trader Jack, and then the other one is Champs 03 on the two cars that I have. But it's special. You know, I was general manager of the Padres and Ray Kroc. I went out and met him, and he said, "Look, I don't know anything about baseball. Do whatever you think is right. Don't even ask me, just do it. Tell me what you've done." And he said, "How long do you think we can get to the World Series?" Well, the team we had was bad. They had never been a 500 team. And I said, "Ray, it'd take me 5 years to straighten this thing out," which fortunately we went to the World Series in 4. But you know, when you get an opportunity, what he said, do whatever you thought. Well, I had a bunch of old guys that were going downhill. I mean, they were good players in their day, but Aurelio Rodriguez, Willie Montanez, John Fusco, heck, a number of guys. They're all going downhill, so I started moving them out, trading them, giving them away, and getting young kids in there, and the club started to progress. And so one of the writers, after I made about 40 or 50 trades, they nicknamed me Trader Jack.
Baseball has a way of uniting generations, fathers and sons, kind of unlike many other things in modern society. And obviously that's part of this project here. I guess talk about that, the importance of remembering the game, uniting generations, and the way baseball is able to do that. Maybe that's one of the reasons you get involved in a project like this.
Well, I think we all love the game of baseball. You know, and this has been my life. This is my 65th year in baseball. I got a son that's a director of player procurement with the Nationals. I got a grandson that's playing for the Norfolk, the Baltimore organization. I got another grandson that interned with the Yankees. I got a son-in-law as a scout for the Dodgers. So basically, our family is pretty much, we grew up in this game, and it's nice to see, you know, my son and then now his sons want to stay in this game and continue on the legacy that, you know, the McKeon family has had. And I think it's important that we, you know, use that to other families and try to get them involved into keeping baseball alive.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Very nice to see you.
I don't know whether that